Guys, welcome. Today I'm here with Angela and Amanda, who you may know from the We Play Resident Evil series. I think that's what they're most known for. That might be what I'm most known for. Oh, it's big. Yeah, sorry. I have been working on posture a little bit, and it's a lot of like pulling back.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like pulling back.
And a string on the top of your head is going up.
Okay.
Big string.
Big string.
Maybe not today though.
No, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, be comfy.
This is a presentation. This is a long presentation.
I'm so excited!
And I love your basement in your mom's house is so cute.
Thank you.
It's sweet.
My mom went all out.
She really did, like, fake.
That's usually there.
Yeah, but it's really sweet that we're not just playing. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
Yes.
now you're talking.
We walked the walk. Now we're gonna talk the talk.
Oh, I can't
Okay.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
We play Resident Evil 7 and 8 together. So Resident Evil 9 comes out this month probably, and so I wanted to get you guys prepared.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay, so this feels like an orientation, like I'm like
Yes,
prepping for school.
So that when things pop up in Resident Evil 9, you'll be like, and I know that.
Yes, and I
Okay.
know that because we do not know who Leon is.
You
I don't know
even
what
know
that
who
is.
Leon is. That's like, I think that's the big thing. And this might be good for you at home, who like, if you haven't played the other 6 games, then it might be good just before you hop into 9.
I'm actually stoked we're doing this because I didn't even know when we were playing 7 and 8, like how deep the lore is.
Yeah, I thought that was the beginning of
the game.
of the lore.
In many ways, it was a new beginning.
Wow.
Wow.
This is gonna be explosive.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I wish I had notes. I could take
Yeah, I
notes.
wish I had a pen.
Glass of
Don't worry, I'll
wine
send you guys this
Yeah.
presentation. Well, this presentation will be readily available after the show.
Oh,
Okay, great.
I can't wait to read
We'll
it.
put this up on archive.org.
I'll download the slides.
Yeah. So guys, welcome to Resident Evil. What is it?
Yay.
Guys, Resident Evil is 7 live action movies. The 7th comes out, I think, maybe late this year.
No way.
Yeah, Zach Kreger, the guy who did Weapons.
There's this much?
There are 5 CGI movies. There are 2 TV shows.
What?
And there are around 30 video games. But there are so many spin-offs. So like the first game was Resident Evil, then it was Resident Evil 2, then they did Resident Evil 0, then Veronica, and then 3.
There's just one called Veronica?
Yeah, it's like Resident Evil Code Veronica. We're not even
Resident Evil girl.
Yeah,
we're not-
literally.
Here's the thing: we're not even going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about probably like 8 or 9 of them. There are about 20 we're not even going to mention.
Are we gonna talk about Mila Jovovich?
Mia Jovovich?
Mia Jovovich?
Honestly, no. We're not
Who's
even going to
that?
get into the movies.
She's the lead of the Resident Evil movies, which apparently aren't connected to like
Not really
the video game
connected
at
to the
all.
video game.
Have you seen them?
No, never
Wow,
seen
I've got to step up.
Yeah, they're fun. They're very
They're really fun.
There's 7 live action ones,
7 live action.
5 CGI ones, and 2 full TV shows.
Yeah.
What are the TV shows called?
One was just Resident Evil. It was Netflix. It was like last year, 2 years ago.
What?
And like, okay, so my question up top is like some musicals and movies and
Yeah.
stuff will be based on like an IP already existing. Is every one of these movies just coming out of nowhere?
So the movies started as an adaptation of the game and then fully just kind of did their own thing. Like a lot of these are telling like a fully separate story.
Got it. But there's no like one writer
Yeah,
for
did
every
the
like
creator?
No. It's very by committee at this point. Like there's not one
Got it.
lore master. There's not one
Got it.
mastermind behind the whole franchise. Like there have been people who have been super important
Yeah.
to like all the games, or like, you know, for the first 6 movies it was all one director, but not like
Now it's kind of like a
important
Saw, where it's like everyone
exactly,
gets a
exactly. So here's what we played.
good.
This is y'all's experience with Resident Evil. It is Resident Evil 7,
Hours.
Biohazard, and then Resident Evil Village, which was Resident Evil 8. The
Which
V
one
and
was
the
the
I and
one
I.
with the baby cut into a million pieces?
That was Resident Evil Village.
Cool.
That was when you were pregnant.
Yeah.
That was when you were pregnant.
Totally.
And really
yes,
hungry.
Yes. Very good for like, you know,
Yeah.
getting him ready.
I think that was the first thing I thought of when you told me you were pregnant. I was like,
Good thing we're playing this.
Yeah.
great. So yeah, that's a little context of where our story was.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the backstory of Resident Evil. Before we even get to the games, this is like the lead up to the games, and some of it may sound a little familiar.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, what even is like, you know what I mean? Is it
Yeah,
a
like, who
place?
is
it
it?
a person?
Residents of Evil or
Is
yeah.
it? Yeah.
So I think like the residents are evil.
Oh.
So like a house, this has residents of evil.
Yeah.
And this swamp is residents, of evil.
swimming.
In Japan, it's called Biohazard, which kind of makes more sense.
Why?
Why?
because it's a lot about like viruses and stuff like that.
Oh, so not residents.
You lost.
Yeah.
I liked the residents.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that one.
I liked when you kept putting them in different places.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think ultimately the residents are evil is the take.
Is the through line.
The residents are evil.
Yeah, we like that.
Miranda.
We know her.
I know her.
Here's what happened. It's like Eastern Europe in like the turn of, it was like 1900 or something like that.
Yeah.
She has a baby. The Spanish flu is coming around. Her daughter is taken by the Spanish flu.
Oh no.
So she loses her daughter and she's like, what do I do? She goes down into the caves because she's like, frankly, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And in that cave, after losing her baby, she meets the mold. The cave, she goes down into this cave to
Got it.
to end her life.
I remember this.
In the grief and comes across this mold. And when she touches it, she realizes the mold kind of contains all of the memories of everyone who was buried in the ground above it, because the cave is underneath the graveyard.
And this is what we saw.
We kind of did see this.
But Miranda isn't the woman with the baby that we played with.
No. So
not
this
Ethan's wife.
this is like
This is
early
a-
1900s.
This is
And she
ancestors.
was real?
She was real. She was a real
This is a
person.
real story?
No.
Oh.
This is real in the Resident Evil world.
So yeah,
Got it.
after like she touches that, she realizes like, it contains great power, and it could be a way to like kind of bring her daughter back.
Why would she think that would bring her daughter back? Because it's only memories.
What is a person if not memories?
Whoa. My God. I am
just stop for Spencer,
gutted.
that was like.
Sorry, do we need to take 5? So
is
anyways,
grief mold? Sorry.
yeah, grief is mold. Is grief is an analogy for mold?
Grief is
No.
mold.
But so anyways, she's in this village.
'Kay.
She kind of becomes the overseer of the village, and she starts experimenting with the mold. She's like, how can I use this in order to bring people back?
Okay.
And the mold is something we saw a lot of in Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, she kind of like begins to worship it, but she also begins to
Use it.
experiment on the people of the village.
Oh my God, she's like the mad scientist.
She's kind of like the mad scientist.
Like Elsa is to ice as Miranda is to mold.
Exactly.
Wow. You are on fire.
So as she's experimenting, and this goes on for years and years and years, and it eventually becomes the village we see in Resident Evil Village.
Oh.
But get this, Oswald Spencer.
Okay.
Oh my God, so that's your ancestor.
So this is a rich white guy.
Cool.
Cool.
He is
one-
backpacking through
A new
Europe.
one would pop up any second now.
Yeah, I know.
A guy named Spencer. So he is backpacking through Europe. He falls down into the cave and kind of meets Mother Miranda.
Of course.
Mother Miranda.
Oh yeah. So she at this point has kind of become Mother Miranda, like the mother of the village.
Wait, but we've seen her.
And we've seen her.
Oh.
I like how you did that.
My God.
It was kind of an accident. That was like a slip.
I can
in a way,
tell
yeah.
because you're like, what?
Oh yeah. But yeah, so Oswald Spencer, I think it's Oswald E. Spencer. I think is his full name, his
I don't
Christian
really
name.
care.
Yeah, it's okay.
So he is backpacking. He injures himself and runs and encounters Mother Miranda.
Okay.
And kind of learns about what she's doing.
Ooh.
And he's like, I kind of like that. I kind of like what you're doing.
Wow.
I could take this back to
and profit off of
and
it.
I can make some
God.
profit off this.
Okay.
So as he's like learning with her, he's like learning about the power of the mold. He's seeing like financial applications for it.
Of course he is.
He's seeing pharmaceutical applications for it. He's
course he
seeing
He's on the
that-
phone with Big Pharma.
Yeah, he is.
She's dealing with grief and he's seeing money signs.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he kind of becomes her protege. But after a while, they see things differently because, as you were saying, he sees things through Big Pharma's eyes.
Yeah.
She sees things through like the eyes of a grieving mother, frankly.
Yeah, of course.
And can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about a game?
Yeah.
Or is this in the first game?
No.
This is
so
before any
So
of the
what are you
games.
saying?
So this is all like
Lore.
This is
Lore.
all lore that like you
But from
read
where?
about.
Because I was like, are you saying a story from
All
a
this
movie?
is kind of pieced together a little bit from the games.
Okay,
All
got
this
it.
information is from the games.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, they go their separate ways. She continues her experiments and gets closer. The village becomes closer to what you see in Resident Evil 8, the village.
Yeah.
Where it's the fish guy, it's the guy with the hat.
Creatures.
Yeah, it's more creatures.
Got it.
So after that,
What a picture.
yeah. So these are flowers. These are African flowers.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, so after he leaves, he becomes her protege. He's like, okay, so like I know that like all of this kind of stuff is out there. I need to go around and like find ultimately like what is going to take my work to the next level. Because she sets him on a path of trying to find the next stage in human evolution and like, what can I do? What he finds, him and a couple other bros, they go on a trip to Africa and they find this flower. And within the flower is a virus. The flower contains a virus called the progenitor virus. And they take that back to America and they're like, we're going to study this, we're going to profit.
Why did Mother Miranda need this virus?
She didn't need the virus. She has nothing to do with the virus. She's up, or like, Spencer
he just sent him off and he her up.
Yeah. They don't really talk for a long time after this.
Okay.
Oh, they had
She
a
doesn't
fight.
come back for a long ass time. Oswald E. Spencer is kind of the most important figure from this point on.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here he is now. He gets old, and what do old people do? He starts a company. He starts the Umbrella Company.
Academy.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's on Netflix.
But you've seen the movies, right?
I have seen the movies. Yes.
The Resident Evil movies.
It's been a long
it's all about
time.
Umbrella Corps.
Umbrella
So
Corps.
he starts.
So just for people in the back,
Yeah.
what?
He starts. So Oswald starts a pharmaceutical company.
Oh.
And within that pharmaceutical company, they're doing experiments. They're doing
Yeah.
all kinds of
And
experiments
that's
behind
why
the scenes.
Mila Jovovich
Yeah.
is like rebelling.
Yes. Exactly. So yeah, he starts a company. The company gets into all kinds of bullshit.
Okay.
They have their fingers in so many pies, but it keeps growing and growing and growing. I think he starts it in the 60s.
The 60s. So Miranda is like living forever.
She is living forever because she's been touched by the mold. She is like experimenting on the mold with herself.
Oh, okay.
And we saw her when the wings pop out. of her.
Immortality, mold.
Immortality.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Here's that some
Oswald's
people-
also chasing immortality. They all kind of want dumb shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else is Oswald gonna do? He's gonna make a mansion.
And
Okay.
It's called Spencer Mansion.
called
Or
Spencer
did
Mansion.
you do this?
What?
Kind of
I
a bad
thought-
name for a mansion.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good name for a mansion.
Spencer Mansion?
Spencer Mansion, Cody Mansion, Dylan Mansion.
Spencer Mansion.
It would be like a Giratana mansion.
Yeah. But
that
like,
actually sounds good.
I think of like Bluestone Manor.
Whoa.
That's Dorinda's house.
Oh.
That's some housewives.
So he is like, we need kind of a space. Like, you know how Apple has got like Cupertino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Umbrella has a place called Raccoon City.
Raccoon City?
Raccoon City.
This guy.
Okay, Spencer Mansion in Raccoon City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got he buys land up in the mountains by Raccoon City, and he commissions a cool mansion.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. And he's like, I want it to have a shitload of traps. I want it to be like a fucking maze in there. And also, there's gonna be a huge underground lab underneath it where we can do all our weird up experiments.
That was not a fart. I moved the couch. Listen, I did not fart.
I wasn't even gonna accuse it. That was clearly a couch being moved.
And of course it was.
But part of me thinks that maybe you moved the couch while you farted, so it sounded like the couch.
That would
would
be
have been brilliant.
That would be X Games.
And now
mode.
wait for the smell.
The smell of the couch.
No,
No, the
I farted
smell
a
of Spencer
bunch
Mansion.
before I got here, so we're good.
Okay.
Right on your old sweater.
Shut up. This morning I was like, I think all my sweaters are starting to smell because of my old dresser, and that's what happens when you buy thrifted
vintage
Oh,
furniture.
I know about that.
Like you got to lay down like the sheets and stuff.
Do you know what you need? A bar of soap in your drawers. This is what my Bubba used to do. She used to put Irish Spring in every single drawer, and your clothes smell amazing.
I'm doing that today.
No, seriously. Continue.
What were you saying?
So he needs to bring in the Trevor family. So
Who the hell are they?
And what's that mean?
he brings in this guy and he's like, hey, make me this mansion. He makes him the mansion. It's the craziest mansion ever. He's like, okay, well now you know too much about the mansion. And he's like, and he's like, yeah, like why don't you bring your wife and kid to celebrate the mansion? And he's like, okay. And he's like, psych, get experimented on. He kills the dad, or he experiments on the dad, he experiments on the mom, and then he experiments on the daughter. The daughter lives and is just kind of held in that mansion for like 30 years being experimented on.
This is awful.
It's really bad. But yeah, her name's Lisa Trevor. You run into her later
Her
on.
name is Lisa Trevor.
Lisa Trevor. Isn't that kind of a funny name? There's something kind
Yeah.
of funny about
All of the name, Raccoon City. It feels like, yeah.
Wait, is this in the movies? Because this doesn't sound familiar.
No. The
movie's
movie's
just Umbrella Corps.
The movie's Umbrella Corps. It's Oswald. It's Albert Wesker.
Got
It's, what's Alice is her name?
If you add more people, I'm gonna get lost.
Yeah, we have to
So
move
we're
on.
gonna add more people.
We have to move
I know,
on.
but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
picture of the name.
And then we're going to get to Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is Resident Evil 1. It came out in 1996 on PlayStation.
And who's he?
Yeah, who's that?
So I think
Ripped.
that is Chris Redfield.
And
Who's Leon? I don't like. Okay.
Wait, Chris is the hot buff guy who saved Ethan, and we were like, kind of cute.
With the jacket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's how Resident Evil 1 plays out.
Okay.
Okay.
There are reports of people getting killed and frankly eaten up in the mountains outside of Raccoon City.
Oswald's eating them?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
So Raccoon City is like, well, we'll send in our kind of our SWAT team. They're called the STARS team. And they are owned and operated by the Raccoon City Police Department, but they're their own like kind of subsect. And here's the thing about Raccoon City, Umbrella has pumped so much money into Raccoon City, they kind of own the city. So it'd be like if Amazon came in and was like, oh, we'll fund the police department, we'll fund the fire department, we'll fund the mayor.
Kind of like
and then,
what's happening.
Exactly, and whenever like something happens, they'll be like, oh, like, we'll pay you money to make this go away.
Yeah, because they own it.
Exactly. They kind of own Raccoon City.
Scary.
They send in part of the STARS team, and they don't hear back. So they send in the other part of the STARS team.
The other
Something's
part of
happening to the STARS
Something's happening to the STARS team. So enter Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine.
Jill Valentine is an excellent name.
Yeah, now
It
we're
is.
talking.
Yeah, now we're talking. So that's Chris. That's the Chris you know and love.
From
Resident
when
Evil 7 and 8.
You remember. Remember when the baby...
He isn't the dad of the baby.
He's
No,
not the
that's
dad of the
Ethan.
baby.
It's
He's the guy who shoots the mom in the beginning of 8.
Yes.
Someone just shoot her through the window.
Mia!
It would be.
Chris? What the hell? Sorry, Ethan.
I love Chris.
Yeah, we love Chris.
We love Chris. No, we really do love Chris. So these are 2 members of the STARS team. They are who you play as in Resident Evil 1.
Got it.
There's like an extensive STARS team, but most of them are wiped out when they go to investigate. Their helicopter flies away without them after they are attacked by like dogs, frankly.
Okay. So Resident Evil
dogs.
1 starts with you being like, what's going on in here?
Yeah,
Let's
you're like,
send in
what's
the
going
STARS
on? And then dogs attack you, and you're like, oh shit, where do we go? You hide in the mansion,
The Spencer Mansion.
the Spencer Mansion.
Because
and-
that's in Raccoon City.
That's in Raccoon City. So
Okay.
you 2 are STARS members. You go and explore this mansion. Who are you with? Albert Wesker.
And we've not seen him yet.
You have not seen him yet.
I don't
he's
like
very
him
important.
as much.
So he is kind of, I think he's the leader of the STARS team. And he's like, oh, guys, let's go in there. Like, you know,
Yes, he's kind of daddy.
his design is funny as f***. He's always wearing those sunglasses. It doesn't matter where he is.
I love that.
He
Yeah.
doesn't like his eye color.
So you go in the mansion and you're like, what is going on? Suddenly there's zombies in the mansion. You get separated, you're kind of looking all around the mansion, you're solving puzzles, and you're doing kind of whatever the f you want in the mansion. You're uncovering what the mansion is.
You're uncovering what Oswald has been doing.
What he's been doing. You go deeper and deeper into the mansion. You end up going into the lab underneath the mansion.
It's always in the lab
It's
where you
always
find
in the
out
lab
what's
underneath the
happening.
mansion. And then you realize that this is kind of a setup. Albert Wesker has kind of set you guys up. He has kind of tasked himself with going in, stealing all the shit from the laboratory, all the information, because there is so much data that he could sell
Yeah.
to, other governments, whatever you want. And, so he inevitably betrays you.
Wait, so you think you're going in to save people,
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on. He's going in to go to the lab and steal
Yeah.
information so that he could sell it.
Is he on the STARS team?
He's the
He's
leader,
the leader of the
team.
STARS team.
So he was
what a
used.
betrayal.
One thing about him, he's going to betray you. One
Okay.
thing about Albert Wesker, he's always going to betray
That's
you.
going to be my part of my presentation when I'm trying to explain the note in Jersey
Yeah.
Shore to you guys. I'm going to be like, so Snooki and JWoww betray Sammy by trying to, like when we do this,
If
I'll
you
be able
do
to
Jersey Shore, I need to be sitting here.
Yeah.
So I've never seen Jersey Shore. But you know what? You escape, and then as you're escaping, he blows up the mansion.
Who,
Albert Wesker blows up the
So
mansion.
he's like, I'm gonna blow this up if I can.
He steals the data, he blows up the mansion, you guys narrowly escape, and you kind of go on your merry way.
Got it.
And that is Resident Evil 1. It is mostly kind of a haunted house story where you are in a haunted mansion and there are zombies everywhere and the house gets crazier and crazier.
Okay.
But that's kind of like where this explorative, like stakes are high, but we don't really have an immediate goal. vibe.
Exactly. You're like, why is this mansion the way it is? And I wanted to kind of give context as to like what Oswald was doing, and it's frankly just making crazy ass experiments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we never run into Oswald in the first.
He is not physically present in
Right.
Resident Evil 1. I don't know if he's physically present until like Resident Evil 5.
Okay.
Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2 comes out 2 years later.
Okay.
And it also takes place a couple months later. Enter Leon, the goat, and Claire, also pretty goated. Recognize that last name?
What is that outfit?
They're kind of sick, aren't they? These are like
Wait,
the old 90s renders.
Claire Redfield. So she is
she somebody's daughter?
Chris's
She
daughter?
She's a sister.
Oh.
So after the events of Resident Evil 1, Chris and Jill escape, and they're like, we got to take down Umbrella Corps. They have all the secrets, but no one will really believe them. A couple months have passed. Claire is like, I'm going to go to Raccoon City because I haven't heard from my brother in a minute. Because last she heard, he was in Raccoon City. This is
Got
pre-cell phones.
it.
And Leon, it's his first day as a cop. He's like, so I'm going to go to my first day. They're driving into Raccoon City. They run into each other at like a diner or something like that.
He's cute. Meet cute.
Meet cute. There's kind of a meet cute. And you're like, okay, let's go, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly you realize Raccoon City has kind of fallen. In the months in between, zombies have taken over Raccoon City.
And all the stars people are gone.
All the stars is pretty much wiped out at this point. You guys both go to the police station because Leon's first day. Chris, being a former Stars member, would have been at the police station. It kind of becomes a little of a light repeat of Resident Evil 1, where it's like you're, for most of it, a lot of it trapped in the police station, which used to be like a former art museum.
Just like reading stuff?
Just reading stuff. Like, yeah, you're going through files and stuff like that. You're like, oh, like, what the hell happened? Why are there zombies everywhere? Why is everyone dead? And you're piecing together the puzzle.
I love when video games start and they go, what a mess this is.
Exactly.
Where do we begin?
I mean, but it's like we did with Resident Evil 7, where that kind of did the formula again, where it's like you go into this big house in Louisiana, you have a goal, and it's like, oh, I want to find this person, and you're like,
But
what the hell happened here?
Right.
Why is it in this condition?
And you break a vase every
Exactly.
second, and you get like a vitamin or
Oh my God. That
A lot of, yeah, you're doing a lot of
disgusting.
inventory management. You're doing a lot of that. You go underneath the police station. There's another f***ing lab there because the Umbrella was like funding the police. You find other experiments. It's really bad. And while you're exploring the labs,
Ada.
yeah, so here's Ada Wong.
Ada.
So Ada Wong rescues you from a couple tight jams.
Oof, kids.
I love. Yeah, the shoes don't match the rest of the vibe, but I'm in.
Yeah, Ada's sick. Ada's sick. She's like, hey, I'm an FBI agent. I'm investigating Umbrella Corps, and I need you guys to help me. And they're like, oh shit, okay.
Okay,
we'll help you.
She brings them in.
She's like, I need you to go down and I need you to go down to the lab and get find this sample for me or whatever like that. And Leon's like, okay, yeah.
Seems
I'll help you.
sketchy.
So what you uncover as you're going through this is the zombie infection was spread through something called the T virus.
Okay.
The T virus was created by Oswald Spencer, etc.
Okay.
And it was leaked through the water system and got out into the city, kind of right after the events of Resident Evil 1.
Wow.
And it infects kind of the whole town.
Okay.
Is that what makes them zombies?
That's what makes them zombies. The
Got
T
it.
virus.
Thank you, teacher.
And then, get this, there's the G virus. The G virus was something they were working on alongside or kind of right after the T virus. And the G virus makes you mutate. It makes you go huge and crazy and stuff like that. And Ada's like, I know the G virus is down there somewhere in the lab. Grab me the G virus. And Leon's like, yeah, we got to get it. We got to get it to the government. The thing about Leon, he is little goody two shoes. He's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
He gets the G virus. She's like, psych, I don't really work for the FBI. I'm a mercenary. I'm going to sell this to the highest bidder, and it's going to be used in war. And he's like, what?
He's like, hey.
He's like, no, you can't do that. Leon's kind of dumb as hell at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
In the remake, she escapes without the G virus.
Remake of what?
We haven't even gotten into the remakes. Anyways, I don't really know.
This is crazy.
Maybe we don't touch on the
The
remake.
G virus is kind of, the G virus is smuggled out. Leon and Claire
let's
escape.
just-
Then we're on to Resident Evil 3, Nemesis.
Is this the G virus?
So that is someone infected with the G virus.
I was going to say.
So
Guy with chainsaw?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Not yet. That's 4.
Sorry,
That's Resident Evil 4.
Sorry.
So yeah, Resident Evil 3 comes out 1 year after Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, this is so 1999.
Yeah, I love it.
This one, you're back as Jill.
And she's
She's
yassified.
And she is, here's the thing, everyone gets sexier the more the franchise goes on.
Of course.
Because we gotta sell these
we
games.
Have to.
We gotta get these
So-
off the shelf.
So
Yeah.
Resident Evil 3 is interesting because it's taking place at the same time as Resident Evil 2. It is a parallel story.
Okay.
And so what is happening is,
Jill used to work with Chris.
Yeah, Chris and Jill were together. They were in the mansion. They survived the mansion. Chris was like, we got to take down Umbrella. Jill's like, yes. He goes off to Europe. She stays in Raccoon City and is like, I'm going to fucking blow this case wide open. So she is actively staying in Raccoon City investigating.
This is happening the same time
This
as
is
the last
happening
game.
at the exact same time. What I'm describing is happening right before Resident Evil 2.
This is just like in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when they meet Sheena.
Yes, and she's sleeping with Brandy's husband.
Boom.
Exactly. Then one night she gets a call. She's like, hey, you're being surveilled. You also really need to get out of the city. She's like, okay, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then suddenly her house blows up. That evil man from the cover starts running through her house, and she's like, what's going on? What's going on? She's being chased through the city, and she has to escape Raccoon City.
Okay.
Your path is kind of crossing over with Leon and Claire. All three of their stories are intertwined, but basically you're escaping the city together.
And I'm Jill.
You're Jill, you get out of there. Next
Hey,
slide.
sure, you're Jill.
The government nukes Raccoon City. They're like, we can't save this. We have to nuke Raccoon City.
Done.
It is blown up. The T-virus is on paper eradicated.
On paper,
On paper.
eradicated.
And the G virus is now the G virus hasn't been sold off yet to the highest bidder.
It might have exchanged hands. You
Ada
don't really
Wong.
know the fate of
Okay.
the G-virus.
Okay.
All the while, they're working on more viruses. The one thing about Resident Evil, there's going to be another virus in the new game.
So Oswald's just still in his house. No one.
Oswald's
captured
chilling
him?
in his Spencer, he's chilling in his house.
Just take him.
Yeah, they need to go after him. So after Resident Evil 2 and 3, all of them get together and they're like, we need to take down Umbrella Corps. This is really messed up. And the world needs to know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast forward to, notice the gap. This game comes out 6 years later.
Whoa.
This is Resident Evil 4. This is kind of the GOAT.
Now, kill me if I'm just on the games channel, but I noticed the last slide was PlayStation, and now we're moving to GameCube.
Hey, great observation.
Thank you.
Resident Evil 4 starts as a GameCube exclusive.
Okay.
And does GameCube do that so they can sell more?
Yeah. But it eventually comes to PlayStation 2, and then it was on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Exactly. And now Resident Evil 4 is there are probably more versions of this game on every console. If you get a console, Resident Evil 4, there are probably at least 2 or 3 versions of this. This is probably the most beloved game in the franchise.
Okay.
Okay.
So it takes place also around 2005. Years have passed. And here's the funny thing. Umbrella Corp has been liquidated. It straight up went out of business.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little
no
anticlimactic. They basically got sued by the U.S. government. There was litigations, and more information came out, more and more info leaks, and eventually they kind of just went bankrupt.
Okay.
Oh wow, big monster just gone.
Truly, it's like okay, but it's a little, and so they've all kind of gone their separate ways. It's we did it. Umbrella's no more. They were all kind of working odd jobs. Leon is working for the president. That's Leon.
Look at him, moved up in the
next,
world.
Next
Goody
slide,
two
please.
shoes.
He gets fucking upgrade.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
First of all, he changed his hair, and then he just got
Changed his hair. Look at that fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a sick ass
I've
fit.
seen Tommy wear this fit.
I was going to say, this looks like Tommy at any Reddit Stories Live.
Yeah. I love
Hey,
it.
he's haven't got the gloves.
This looks amazing.
I love
okay,
it.
So, in 2005, who was the president for us?
Bush.
I just want to know what they were writing.
So he was,
Bush.
guarding Bush in this game.
It's a fictional president, but yeah, the
I just want to know
president's daughter.
the background.
President's daughter is kidnapped.
Of course.
President's daughter is kidnapped.
Tale as old as time.
She gets taken to Spain.
Okay.
Oh, great. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then?
You'd think.
Yeah, and then?
So he goes to Spain. He finds out the residents are not what they think. He goes
They're
to
evil!
he goes to a little village, and the residents, get this, they're evil.
Evil residents!
They're acting like zombies, but they're still speaking. They're acting weird. He finds out it's something called Las Plagas, which is
Las Plagas.
totally separate from the T virus and the G virus. But it's basically this little parasite. And the parasite, once it gets in you, you can be controlled by someone who has the master parasite or something like that.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, anyways, he rescues the president's daughter. He's cool as he's upgraded so much. The first one, he's like, oh, what's going on, blah, blah. This one, he's like, what's up?
What's up?
He's talking shit to everyone.
That's cool.
He's not scared of literally anything.
What was the change for him?
I think he saw the events of Resident Evil 2 and was like, you know what?
Chip on his
I'm a
shoulder.
man
He
now.
was like, I'm different.
And he's been working there. He's not a pick-me anymore.
Yeah. Maybe Claire, he was
She was holding him back, honestly.
Yeah.
He's doing spin kicks. He's suplexing the zombie things. It's
I
really,
love
really
it.
cool.
Cool.
Up.
So he's in Spain.
Great.
He's in Spain. He is great. He rescues the daughter. Ada Wong comes back. Wesker's there. It's kind of a who's who. It's a little reunion for all of them.
Okay.
The lore implications are not that crazy in that one.
What's the main goal other than just to rescue the daughter?
Rescue the president's daughter, Ashley Graham, and then you get her out of there. You kind of realize that they were holding her hostage because they wanted to infect her with Las Plagas, send her back to the United States, and she was like, "Yay, I'm back!" And then suddenly she would get like activated, then like spread the plague
Spread
here.
Las Plagas.
And
But
then
they didn't. That
They
wasn't
didn't succeed.
successful.
He put a stop to that.
Of course he did. Look at him.
Yeah,
That's our Leon.
that's our
That's our
Leon.
Leon.
No, he's that guy. Here's the next two. We're gonna kind of skim over these. Wait, real fast. What do you see here?
Hook. A hand with a hook.
You see a giraffe with a man sucking him off.
No.
Hey, and fair. Honestly, fair.
I see the giraffe.
no.
I don't see the giraffe.
Oh, I see. The top, his head is facing this way, and the guy's going in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the giraffe is sitting down getting sucked off.
It's like a bipedal giraffe.
Yeah, no.
looks like a
no.
6 to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes a 6 is just a 6.
Yeah, no.
Is that Leon?
That's Chris.
I was gonna say, Chris has buff arms. Leon is like,
Yeah,
well,
Leon's.
We can gain
Everybody
multitudes.
knows
We can gain
this.
multitudes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we buff up and sometimes we slim down.
So 5 is like Chris and Jill. You know, they were working together for a long time. They like reconvene. Umbrellas no more. And then they finally go. They go to kill Oswald Spencer. They go in the room. They're like, "Oh, free Spencer, you're under arrest." And Albert Wesker is already there, and he has punched a hole through Oswald Spencer. He has got superpowers.
hole?
He's injected himself with so many of these like little mini viruses.
so
He's
he
a
punched a
f***ing
hole.
rat.
He's got superpowers.
He punched a hole through Oswald.
He punched a hole through Oswald. They're like, "What? That was our kill." And then they fight Wesker. Wesker's fast as f***. And then Wesker and Jill tackle each other off of this
ledge.
cliff. And Chris is like, "Oh, she's gone, blah, blah, blah. She's not really dead." He goes to Africa because there's like another outbreak of Las
Who's he?
Plagas.
Chris.
Okay.
From Resident
Remember
Evil.
Chris?
From Resident Evil 1.
I'm slipping.
Okay.
I'll bring y'all back
Forgot
soon.
who
Chris is-
Oswald.
Oswald is
Osquash.
the rich white guy in the beginning with
No,
Mother
I know
Miranda.
that, but the other one. It's
Chris?
fine. He
No,
can't.
no. Albert is the guy who
Yes, yes,
ran
yes,
the
yes,
stars,
yes.
and then Chris is the hot guy who, in our game, killed the mom, who was kind of annoying, to be honest.
Okay, keep going.
He technically kills Miranda, who was disguised as the mom at that
Stop!
point.
We can't keep saying stuff.
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
This is a hat.
That's literally how I feel right now. I'm like, this is not.
This
a
is a
hat.
Wesker.
Literally.
You got it. You got it. Okay.
Yeah, so you go to Africa, it's a little problematic. You kill Wesker, you blow him up with a f***ing rocket launcher. And this is the one where, this is the iconic moment that everyone loves to talk about. This is arguably Resident Evil jumps the shark. There's like an erupting volcano or something like that, and a boulder's coming at you, and Chris punches the boulder, and it explodes.
Of course he does.
Yeah, they find the flower where it was like the progenitor virus,
Yeah.
because it was in Africa.
Yeah.
6 is a fucking mess. 6
Okay.
is the family reunion one. That is where there's like 4 campaigns. One of it you play as Chris. One of it you play as Leon. One of it you play as like people from the spin-offs. Like it's
And
so complicated.
What's the point of it?
So the C virus is in Resident Evil 6. People like crystallize and then they hatch and then they're evil. You can clone people like that. It's crazy. They're jumping all over the world. Like some of it's in China, some of it they're like in like all these research facilities. It's like a globe-trotting, huge Fast and Furious style adventure.
Okay.
It kind of loses a lot of people because it's trying to kind of bring in everything from every game, but in that way it's kind of a mess.
Got it. Got it.
Kind of a mess.
It's like at the end of an improv show when you're like, let's try to tie it all together, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah, and it's like really doesn't. Where it's like, because frankly, like most of the loose
like,
ends,
this
like
is the C virus. I don't know.
I think at this point they might be regretting their decision to have like just shuttered Umbrella in between 3 and 4.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, they should have brought it back because that could be another game just all about them making a comeback.
Here we are. Resident Evil 7.
It's
Resident Evil 8.
us. And who were we in Resident Evil 7?
Fully new guy. Resident Evil 7 is kind of like
Ethan.
you're Ethan Winters.
Remember
All
Ethan?
of the names are so perfectly forgettable. It's
Ethan
crazy.
is the hand.
No,
water.
yeah. But Leon and Chris and Ethan, those all sound the exact same to me. I don't know
No,
why.
it's like they picked like the white guy dartboard and we're like.
Literally.
Yeah.
So anyways, you're Ethan Winters, fully new character. This is kind of a soft reboot. They're like, 6 was a little crazy. We acknowledge that. We're gonna go back. It's gonna be another crazy haunted house.
Okay.
So you get the call from your wife Mia, and she's like, "Oh, like I'm like missing. Don't come for me."
Mia.
And
That
Chris
was-
goes. He goes to the mansion. He goes in there. The Baker family's all fucked up.
Oh, the Bakers.
The Baker family
the
is like,
nasty
"Yo,
fridge.
what you
We're
find
in
out,
Louisiana.
You're
Evil
Louisiana.
grandpa.
Evil
Evil.
grandpa. Everyone's evil. You kind of defeat the evil family, and along the way, this is so you kind of see the structure of all the other Resident Evil games. You're exploring the house. You're like picking up information. You're figuring out what happened there.
Yeah.
And what has happened is that big boat crashed. They picked up the little girl, and the little girl started infecting them with her mold.
I was gonna say, mold comes back.
Yes.
Mold comes
Wait,
back.
the little girl is not the Trevor girl?
Not the Trevor girl.
Cool. She's just another
Just
infected
another
little girl.
She's another little girl.
Yeah.
She is.
course.
Yeah. Another
She's
infected
just
little
another
girl.
infected little girl.
Aren't we all? You defeat them, you escape, and then you are kind of relocated in between 7 and 8. You're like, oh, we got to put our lives back together. Your wife gets pregnant. You take her to Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Chris is like, we need to relocate you guys, because Chris is the one who rescues you at the end of 7.
Yes, but then he kills our wife.
Then he kills your wife. So 8 begins, and you're having dinner with your wife.
Yeah, marital troubles.
Chris comes in, shoots your wife, and then you're kind of kidnapped. You wake up in the Resident Evil village.
Yes.
And that's where you take down Mother Miranda.
Remember?
And
That's where the baby
has
fell.
she been in Raccoon City?
Literally, no. She's only been there. So 8, the way you find out
She's in
that
the cave.
the way you find out 8 is tied to like all the earlier ones is at the end, and this is what the comments were mad at us for skipping. At the end, when you're going through her lab, like remember when you play as Chris and you're like going through her lab and you find Mia again, she's like, oh, like where's my husband, blah blah blah, and Chris is like, oh, he's fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the table, there's a letter to Miranda from Oswald Spencer.
Whoa!
And he's like, and this
that
is the
we
first.
didn't read?
Yeah,
That
and this-
I wanted to read?
You didn't know.
At the time, I wouldn't have gotten
At the
it.
time, it wouldn't have meant anything
It's
to you.
from Oswald to Miranda.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, thanks. Like, I loved studying under you. I know we went our separate ways, but like, hey, I'm cooking up something crazy. I'm working on a virus. It could be big.
There's a letter that
It could be big.
It's C or D or F virus.
So what about that letter? Why are fans mad that we missed?
Just because that
just
ties it
connects us.
to Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, but here's the deal. Miranda didn't want him to create viruses.
No, she didn't. But they stayed in touch a little bit.
They wrote letters to each other.
They wrote letters to each other. But here's another interesting thing.
Every once in a while, I'm here and then I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting thing. When he was there,
Yeah.
you know how she's got like the 4 people? She's got like Heisenberg with the hat. She's got Lady Dimitrescu,
Yes.
like blah, blah, blah. They have like a crest.
Why
And
did
that
I think Mother Miranda was Lady Dimitrescu?
No, she's the big one with the wings
Mother
at the
Miranda's
end.
the spider.
Yes.
Yes.
And Lady Dimitrescu
Is the sexy, like,
yes.
cleavage,
Yeah,
like,
so-
my daughter.
With the sisters who are bugs.
daughters.
Daughters who are
Daughters
bugs.
who are bugs. Yeah. So that's Mother Miranda, and those are like the people she's kind of using to create like a vessel for her bringing back her daughter from like the very beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh, like one of you will be worthy, and they're all kind of fighting for her attention.
Here we
She's,
go
like, playing
again.
them
She
against each
wants
other.
to put her daughter in one of those bodies.
I think so.
Grief.
I don't really know.
Grief.
Yeah, grief
Grief
works
is
in mysterious
mold.
ways.
Grief
Yeah.
is mold.
And it grows on you, and sometimes it kills you.
Yeah, but you got to scrape it off.
You gotta scrape it off.
It's like that monologue that Jennifer Lopez has in Jennifer Lopez has in I'm not gonna lose it. It's like the monologue that Jennifer Lopez has in Hustlers, where she's like, "Motherhood's a disease.
And I'm the
Grief
cure.
is a mold."
Yeah. She said
Did she
grief
say
is
that?
mold?
No, I'm.
Oh, you are Jennifer Lopez. You are the stripper in Hustlers doing
You
it.
are the stripper in Hustlers.
I got it.
I am the stripper in Hustlers.
Grief is mold.
And they're the remakes.
Why are we going back?
I just wanted to give a little context. So like,
No, not
all the-
you.
yeah.
Them. Why do we have to remake it?
Because those games are like, frankly, kind of old. Like,
Okay.
if you were to see footage from like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, you'd be like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
old as
Yeah.
Barry?
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this. What is it?
On GameCube, they went back, they remake Resident Evil 1. And then on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and stuff, they remake Resident Evil 2 and 3.
And these
then
are the same plots.
same
Same
plot.
plot, they're just
So it's
better
like, if
looking.
we were to play these at some point, like, we would play the remakes.
I would like to play the remake.
Me too. And
So,
th-
yeah.
so it's kind of like when Spotify like remasters an album.
Yeah, kind of like
and
that.
it's the same thing.
Yes.
And then like they remade 4, it was sick. Like the remakes are they're pretty damn good.
Remakes look pretty good.
Everyone gets a little upgrade in those. So these are kind of their modern design.
She just has boobs. That's it. That's the only change.
Oh, yeah.
No, what her
and, like,
outfit's like it's got texture, it's like the
Oh,
color.
So the shoes changed, which we needed.
We needed that.
And look at Chris. Oh, look at Chris before, baby.
So that's
boy.
actually Chris in the GameCube remake. Then he gets another upgrade in the so that's him in Resident Evil
That's
8.
what we know him as. The first one.
Now I see all
Whoa,
of this.
Leon. You know,
Ooh.
I'm not sure that it got better.
It's a little bit of a Clay Aiken vibe.
Yes, it went from like
Clay
David
Aiken with a
Bowie
gun.
in Labyrinth to Clay Aiken.
With a gun.
I think once you see him in motion, you'll be like, oh, okay. Because Leon, like, I
know.
wasn't sure how to communicate this, but it's like Leon is baby girl. Like, everyone loves Leon so much.
Got it.
So fucking much, it's crazy. And I'm people.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I think that's a rough summary of Resident Evil 1 through 8.
That was fantastic.
But so here's what we need to know
here?
going into
Yeah.
Resident Evil 9.
I got it.
It is scary. So remember, like, Resident Evil 8, like, I used to say, like, wasn't that scary, but it's like a lot of, like, shooting stuff. It's a lot of, like, yay, like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. This one's fucking scary.
How do we know?
I played it a little bit.
He played it a
I
little
played
bit.
it a little bit.
Did you have to sign an NDA? I played it a little
Yeah,
bit.
low-key, yeah.
Whoa. Well,
next
you
slide.
just told everybody.
You're going back to Raccoon City.
Let's go back!
So I
Let's
think it's
reclaim
important-
it!
Yeah. I think it's important that, like, you know the context of Raccoon City.
Of
It's where that
course.
outbreak was in the 90s, and here's the fucking giant nuke hole.
So, but when we were back, are we back in a new light, or is this just going back in time?
No, so we're going back to, this is at modern time.
Modern time. Who are we?
We are Grace Ashcroft.
A journalist?
A journalist. So yeah, she is an FBI investigator.
She's hot.
So yeah, we will be playing as Grace.
They love Bobs.
So here's
Love a bob. You know why?
Ass Bob.
Because they want it like jagged and it's like,
So you can see it when they're like,
yeah, a ponytail's like too, precious and femme.
I would want to see like a layout of all the femme hairs in all the Resident Evil franchise.
I want like a Resident Evil with a messy bun.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Like, give
but
it
what
to
if
us, you know?
someone just grabbed it, like the G
And she's like,
virus, and she's like, no, should have went with the bob.
With the bob, yeah. Me watching Fairly Odd Parents. So yeah,
I like her with a badge. I like this. I like that she's got a lot of work.
She looks, she's got a lot
So
of
we're
work.
gonna be her, and we're gonna go back to Raccoon City to investigate some deaths.
This looks like the program team during Lock Week.
Should I? Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty good. That's pretty good. So, anyways, your mother,
Her mother?
her mom is someone named Alyssa Ashcroft. Alyssa Ashcroft was involved in kind of ending in the Raccoon City trials where Umbrella was sued and went under.
A judicial system.
A
in Raccoon
judicial
City.
system.
Oh my God, I
So her
love-
mom was an investigative journalist, and her mom died like 8 or 9 years ago. So at this time,
How?
when Resident Evil, we don't know. She died at a hotel, that's all we know, and we are being tasked with investigating the hotel.
I love a sketchy hotel.
love that.
This is your mom.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's
So you actually
gorgeous.
play as her in one of the Resident Evil spin-offs that came out in like the early 2000s. It's a multiplayer game. You're kind of going around Raccoon City. It takes place during Resident Evil 2 and 3. We didn't even have time to breach that.
I don't know. Yeah, that you just freaked me out.
She's a character from a way earlier game.
It's giving Tar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh my
Who
God.
composes at the end.
loved that
She
movie.
composes. Have you seen Tar?
Yeah.
You know how it ends with her doing the Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
So Monster Hunter is published by Capcom. There's Monster Hunter Resident Evil crossovers.
What?
Makes
If you
think.
were to say there's a Tar Resident Evil crossover,
It's crazy that you brought that up. I totally forgot about that movie, and
Me
when I
too.
watched it, it was
Yeah.
like significant.
So yeah, that's her mom, and she's going to. They're like, hey, we want to send you on this mission. Are you okay? Because we know it's kind of where your mom low-key died. And she's like, well, I
She's
guess.
like, well, I gotta face the
She's
grief
like, I've gotta
because
face the
mold
grief.
is grief.
Mold is grief. Leon Kennedy might show up.
oh, and he has a back tattoo.
I like this. That Clay Aiken one, not cute. This.
He has a tramp stamp.
I mean, that's a fan edit, but people just love that picture so much. I felt I would be remiss to not include that.
Is that his-
Honestly, if he had a tramp stamp, I'd be like, it's acceptable.
I didn't know how to integrate like a fan edit of like Leon, but there are so many fan edits because he's always doing the most.
Okay, got it.
Well, he's baby girl.
He's
Yeah,
baby girl.
he's Clay Aiken
So
with a
Leon
gun.
Kennedy might be back. That's the big rumor.
And we get to play it.
We get to play it. If he shows up, I just want you guys to
We're
be
gonna play?
scream.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
play
yeah.
it.
And but what I really love is that we're gonna play this journalist, and she's gonna deal with. She's gonna be in the
She's
space
gonna be
her mom
dealing with the
died.
grief.
Yes.
Yes. So it's gonna be a lot of like
Yes.
dealing with grief. And
Like
then,
in the pit when
Yes.
when Robbie. Have you seen the pit?
I can't watch medical
You
shows.
can't. You can't. Have you?
Oh, I love the pit.
When he
When
like
he goes in the
keeps-
kids'
keeps
room?
Like, I need. Yeah.
I can't watch.
That's programming team on Lock Week.
yeah.
The him crying in the corner. Love that picture. Thank you guys for listening.
What?
Spencer, you did actually a good job.
Fucking killed that.
Thank you guys. Yeah, and I
Wait,
mean,
can you test
know,
us? Ask us questions.
Oh my God.
I want
we
you
do
guys
like
to
a
ask me,
quick-
like, is there anything you're like, what was that? Or
Not
like,
at
does
all.
that come back? Or
I feel like I spoke up pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I feel like I did it on the way.
Any moment I was slightly confused, I interrupted you and said so.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, and I mean, there is so much. Like I said at the beginning, there is so much I missed. There's probably also so much I got wrong. This is just me defending myself before the comments come from me.
100%.
I think like you'll have the context of like we're going back to Raccoon City where this like zombie outbreak happened. She's got the mom trauma.
I just
Leon's
thought-
got his trauma.
I just
et
thought
cetera.
Raccoon City blew up. So I'm like, what?
There's
why
there's
are we
one
back
part
there?
that's blown up, but there's still
Well,
some
it's like, you know, when you bomb a
hotels.
city. I mean, you know, when you bomb a city, but it's like there's a lot of structure still standing.
I
like,
do have a question.
Yeah.
Mother Miranda.
Oh, you killed her.
If I knew she wanted to like bring her daughter back to have her, I probably would have
She's
killed her.
she's low key evil. You saw she ruined that
because
village.
She had, too
a
much of
virus.
the-
She was
the
driven.
mold.
Yeah, she had too much mold, and too much mold to do that to.
You are driven. You have to let go
Yeah.
of the grief, otherwise it will drive you mad. Just like
Yeah, but
revenge.
you and Ethan are kind of having a I want my daughter off.
It does feel like everybody is so influenced by like oh my
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah,
oh
of course.
Oh my daughter.
Oh my daughter.
But if they just healed,
Yeah. If they took a green herb.
they would be okay.
What are the imminent threats besides, because Umbrella Co. is gone. So the imminent threats are the C virus,
G virus.
the T virus.
So here's a theory that I've seen thrown around. Here's why I introduced the Trevor family. Some people think, so some footage, the section I played, you are being pursued by a terrifying looking creature around like an old building. And my theory is that it was Lisa Trevor who survived the bombing of Raccoon City because she's nigh invincible. She's, I think, who they kind of made the G virus from because she survived so many injections that like she mutated into something else and they're like, oh, scoop.
So we think that Trevor mommy is coming back.
Trevor daughter.
Trevor daughter. Oh right, because she
Lisa Trevor,
survived.
yeah.
And all daughters become mothers.
Yeah.
And then the grieving process just continues.
It's just
like mold.
generational.
Just like mold.
Just like mold. Guys, thank you so much for watching and hopefully do some more stuff like this soon.
Hopefully do.
That's some of the tip.